Yo, what is up guys, Forever here, and today we're going to be talking about Elemental Knights once again on this channel, because it is the game I've been previously playing for the last 3 months. It's been 3 months since I started playing Elemental Knights, and I am hooked, and I want others to be hooked, because it is a great game with massive potential, and honestly, I feel like it's not getting looked at the way it should be looked at, by the community, by the developers themselves, and by all of the gaming MMO sphere right now that is on console. Because once again, this game is a very good game. Starting out the box, you can create your character choosing male or female. You can choose your face type. There's a bunch of preset face types. There's no heavy customization like in other games like Black Desert or Terra, anything like that. They have kind of basic face types. We're gonna go with this one. You can choose your hairstyle. There are other hairstyles that are within the mini cash up of the game, where you can actually get medals from playing the game itself naturally, and that's how you can change to those hairstyles as well. We're going to change the hair color as well. So we're going to do, I'm going to go ahead and do black. And then there are your 4 classes. This game is heavily relied on the Holy Trinity, which is of course, Holy Trinity, which is of course your tank, your healer, and then your DPSs, which of course these are the DPSs. But there's also your subclasses within this game as well, which you'll see later on here as I go into this. Now, after you go ahead and create your first character, which this is like my 3rd character, you can also choose your name, which we're going to go ahead and change names. I don't want to be known as Drake. I'm going to be known as Malfoy. And we're going to be a wizard named Malfoy, yeah. We're not going to look like Malfoy, but we're going to be Malfoy. Now, Elemental Knights, also known as EKO, has been out for 16 years now. This game released back in 2008. I remember somebody on the Discord saying that they've been playing this game since they had an iPod, one of the old iPods. So, like, this game's been out forever now. But yeah, it is an anime styled MMORPG, as if every game that came out back then was an anime style MMORPG. It does have a story. It does have a lot of subtext to the story and a lot of world building when it comes to getting into the story, if you're into that kind of thing. If you're not, you can just play the game and get into the point of grinding until you get to the end game. The end game is very fun and it is very meticulous. It's very grindy as well. Let's just be honest. There's no straightforward shot to the end game that you'll just be able to complete it and be done with everything within a month or so, especially on a smaller server like the PlayStation servers. Because there are things in game that do require a large amount of players, and that's what I'm here for, trying to recruit a large amount of players to play this game, especially on the PlayStation servers. Mobile servers have their good amount of players. PlayStation servers definitely need it, especially because the game has a price tag on PlayStation, which is very sad. I wish the game was free to play on PlayStation, but it has a price tag of about $9.99. Normally, it is usually on sale, however, for about $2.99. I bought it when it was on sale about 3 years ago for 99 cents. Even though I've got it at the same time, so it was 99 cents back then. Maybe you can catch it on sale for that price. So once the opening scene for the game cuts off, you get the Elemental Knights logo, I guess is what you want to call it. And then you see yourself on a ship, which is the old school MMORPG opening to every game. You come in on a ship as an adventure from out of nowhere, and you're just coming into this land, and you're now the chosen one for whatever reason. Pretty much the same thing here. Like I said, 2008 game. You can't really blame it. And then after going through your first few quests of talking to NPCs, you're immediately thrust into a fight and given a weapon and told, hey, defeat this monster that looks like it should be an endgame boss. I swear, and I think it is an endgame boss towards close to one of the later parts of the game too. It's ridiculous. It's named something else, reskinned for whatever reason, but same story goes along. But you quickly get to get control of the character and you learn how to play the game from your side of the character. Now, once again, I said this was a mobile game, but it does not have mobile game tactics, like how mobile games now are all autoplay, where you have the character can move and do skills on its own. This game does not have that. It is an MMO you actually have to play, even though it does look like a mobile game. You have to click your own skills. You do have to move your character. There is an auto run, but there's no actual auto go to this spot, auto go to that spot, auto go to this. You actually have to play this game, so that might be a turn on for a lot of you. A lot of people hate auto play in their games. I understand it. I'm not gonna talk down on you for not liking auto play. I personally prefer to play a game where I move my own character. Once you finish beating your first big bad, you go ahead and pick your first stat points and put it into a vitality stat. No matter what class you are, you're going to put it into vitality stat. Later, you can go ahead and change these because they give you a bunch of skill orbs and status orbs to let you reset your stat points and skill points I think it's 30 for the first character and every character after, and you get some from doing dailies later on in the game. From there, you get to go ahead and do quests, and you are shipped off to the beginning area where you start questing and killing mobs and raising your skill level as well as your character level to pursue through the game and get through the story. The game, like I said, is very heavily story oriented because you have to do the story to unlock certain parts of the game so you can continue through the maps. Now, the quests are very simple. They're your go kill this, go kill that, go talk to this person type quests. There aren't that many chain quests in between to stop you from doing certain things. I do want to say that the quests aren't monotonous like they are in certain games now. You have to do 15 different like mini missions for one quest and then you finally get that one quest done. No, this is your standard 2008 remedy of 2008 formula of kill this monster, collect this piece, turn it in, and you're done the quest. I'm not gonna lie, I like the simplicity of that. After completing your actual first major quest, you get a skill rank up, and you get to learn that you can put skill points into your skills, which allows you to build your own skill tree. Your skill tree is a very diverse thing you get to play with. You get 30 points at max rank, and those 30 points you're gonna have to, pick and choose exactly where you want your points to go so you can get whatever skills you want to get. You're going to play around with this a lot. I wish there was a better system. This is one of the things I feel need to be upgraded in the game because the system they have to do it with is where you have to click your skill points and then you'll be able to learn and see what the skill does instead of being able to hover over it and go through the levels of it itself. But that's something for another video. So once you get to a certain part in the story, you'll be able to unlock your class change, and those class changes are all under that one character. You have to complete a prerequisite quest to gain access to these classes. I start off as a wizard, so my subclass will be a warlock, magic knight, and then later on I'll be able to do the dragon buster and dragon lancer quests. From completing both of these quests, there's going to be a way to unlock the dragon saber quest, and then from having my wizard base class at level 30, I'll be able to unlock the ninja class. So whatever character you pick is going to have their secondary class that's going to be unique to them, but then their third class is going to be shared with another class, and then they all share classes like the Dragon Buster, Dragon Lancer, and Dragon Saber, as well as the Ninja and the Samurai respectively, depending on the first class that you pick. Because I picked Wizard, my secondary class is going to be a Warlock, but I share the class Magic Knight with the Fighter starter, so the Fighter also becomes a Guardian, which is in the secondary class, and then becomes a Magic Knight for his third class. And you can switch to these classes freely. It takes 15 seconds to switch between classes. You have to just not be within danger or be around a mob. For some reason, mobs hate it when you're sitting down, so they'll attack you. And to change class, you have to sit down for whatever reason. That being said, so because I'm a wizard, I can switch to Warlock as my first class change. My second class change would be a Magic Knight. These classes, like I said, you can just switch whenever you want. There's no restriction to switching, except when you're in certain maps, they don't let you switch for certain quests, and then for certain things like your Dragon Tower, your Dragon Gate, you don't get to switch for those. Other than that, that's pretty much it when it comes to the class changes. Each class has the 30 skill tree limit. Like I said, your max skill rank is going to be 30, and you have to play with those points and put them where you want so you can get the required effect of skills. It's going to be a lot of juggling. I promise you. You're not gonna find a perfect build for any class because you're always gonna want something just because it does a little bit more. Your perfect build, however, could be your own perfect build, but there's no overall maximum perfect build for any class that I've seen yet. But prove me wrong if you get into the game, you know? This game is not an easy game at all to play. In the very first beginning part of the game, you'll think I can solo everything, and then you'll be hit with the roadblocks in the story, and you'll realize I need help. And you'll have to rely on other people to actually pull you through. Now, if you start playing the game with friends, you'll be in a good spot. But if we build the community on PlayStation 4, we'll hopefully see more random people just running around, doing things and questing together and playing together, and just making the community bigger. Mobile is in a good spot because they have multiple people just hopping on playing because it's a free game on mobile. But the console side, they are sorely lacking because of the fact that it costs money, and nobody actually knows about it on console. Let's be real. This game did not get the amount of promotion it needed to be on console. I think I found it because I searched up MMORPG way back when I wanted to look for an MMORPG because the one I was playing was about to close down. So yeah, this game needs a lot more attention because it is a very good game. The Holy Trinity aspect of it is very fun. It does get pay to win if you decide to go that route, but even as a pay to win, you still can't just run around and solo and one shot everything. Depending on, I guess if you put like probably a few $100,000 into the game, very happily over exaggerating that amount, but probably a couple thousand to the game might get you to the point where you can be, you know, super overpowered and one shot everything. But that's going to take you a lot of doing and a lot of trying, versus you can just kind of run everything with a party and not spend that much. But that choice is yours. For the price tag of the game, you do get a costume set that gives you vitality. It's called the Dark Arthur costume set. And you do get a 10 pull actually for the gacha system, which the game's costumes is gacha system. There are no like there's nothing in the game that's like obviously like blatant power, in a sense that it's just like you can buy power, except for like the valor potions, which increase your attack times 2. So I guess that is blatant power. But once again, no PvP, so doesn't really matter. Unless you're just trying to be that person that solos everything, then I mean that's cool if that's your thing. I mean, but why do you play an MMO if you're just gonna solo everything? Go play single player games. But with that being said, hopefully this game does get a bit more traction when people actually start playing it on PlayStation. I will go ahead and drop this video on their Twitter as well. Hopefully the developers see this and decide to start doing more to the game, because the game does need to finish their translations. A lot of the translations are just machine translated, and some of the stuff just doesn't make sense when it is translated. It feels like no one really tried to translate some of the stuff, and it feels like when they did have some people translating things, they kind of just were trying to troll with some of the references that are in the game. But I definitely do love this game, and hopefully you guys will come to love this game if you decide to play as well. It is a really great game. I do play with a group of people on PlayStation, so add me on PlayStation if you want to go ahead and join up with the party. We can get you guys started up and get you towards playing towards endgame, because that's where we're still at. We're still grinding for gear. We're still grinding for potential. We're still grinding for everything, really. We're not at a point where we can say we're completely finished, because we're not even towards the beginning of endgame yet. Let's be real about it. But that's pretty much it for this video. Thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next video, and peace out.